This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. We're going to let our buddy Jordan Davis whistle us in. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah.
There he is. We're back. We're
Yeah.
back. We're back. Mike, are we back?
We are back.
We're back. Jordan's back with us. I'm always curious because your schedule is very odd, Jordan, with you traveling every weekend. How many did you get to watch the college games you wanted to watch?
Got to catch the second half of the LSU-Florida game, and I got to catch the second half of Tennessee-Alabama. So, yeah.
We should jump into both those games then. I missed my parlay because I had Alabama. I'll say this, Tennessee fans, great job. You won.
Yeah.
Huge win.
You won. Huge win for your program. I still think you're going to lose probably 2 this season. But huge win. And maybe I just get annoyed because I was around a lot of Tennessee people yesterday, and they were like, I wonder who we're going to play in the national championship.
Oh,
like, they were already doing that.
All right.
Gosh.
And that's just tough to hear because I get it. It's fun. But and big win, and it's awesome to rush the field. Done it a couple times. It's amazing. So I'm just going to leave it there. I did miss because I did have Alabama winning that game. So I'm sorry I let you down. I feel like I let everybody down when I don't hit because we've hit so many times.
It's hard to hit those.
I know, but I feel like
when Bobby starts off 15-0.
I know.
Exactly.
I feel like such an embarrassment, such a failure. So I'm very sorry I did not hit the parlay this week. The Alabama game got me. I thought they would win. I thought they'd whoop. I thought they were gonna turn it around and actually second half bend them over.
I honestly thought that it was going to end up like a 2-possession game.
What'd you think? What'd you think of that one?
I took Alabama too. So, but I mean, Tennessee is. I didn't know what to take leaving the LSU game. So LSU's not a great team. Tennessee rolled us, but we also had a couple of fourth downs that we should have maybe punted. It could have been closer. I just thought Alabama was a better defensive team, and I did not think that Tennessee was going to be able to carve them up like they did.
Bryce Young is so good.
He is so
and
good.
I know they lost. I get it. But they scored 100 points. That ain't his fault.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yes. And he was getting smacked.
Constantly.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And dude, those running backs from Alabama, man, those guys got some wheels.
And we should give the praise to Tennessee as well. But I just remember thinking, if Bryce Young's not your number one quarterback over C.J. Stroud going into the draft, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I mean, slightly undersized, but a lot of those guys are now. You don't have to be sized the same way because it's not all about drop back and throw.
I think that's the thing is like you're seeing it with, although they lost yesterday, but Kyler Murray, like, even Jalen Hurts, like
was
moving
another.
the pocket,
Yeah.
getting outside, and making plays. Like, yeah, I think Bryce Young's going to fit just fine anywhere in the NFL.
Game of the year so far. Would we all agree?
Oh,
College football?
yes.
100%.
It was awesome. Tennessee fans, congratulations. That really was an epic win, and I like to watch just pure joy on people's faces, and that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, 5 touchdown receptions in a game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. How do you not guard him after 3?
Did you see how mad Saban was after too?
4? Yeah.
He went off in the press conference.
Yeah.
And what about the penalties from Alabama?
I know.
You never see a Saban coach team
Texas was the other
for
game.
the second time this year where
Yeah.
it's just rack up 100+ yards in penalties.
They have the most in the FBS this year.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Yeah. Which is unheard of with Saban.
A great win. All you Tennessee fans, you deserve it. I'm not even going to say anything about the home cooking it with the calls. Just slightly, though. Not a ton, just slightly. But you deserve it. You deserve to get the home. If your crowd is that loud,
It was awesome.
you should almost get a cup. It's like, okay, the refs should have a meeting and go, okay, depending on, it's like an encore
Yeah.
for a musical artist. All right, you finish your set. If they're really into it, you're like, all right, maybe we'll go out and do 3. If they're not, okay, we'll give them the 1 because we have it on our set list. We got to go down and do the big song. Maybe the refs are like, if they're really killing it,
If it stays the way it
we'll
is.
give them a couple calls.
That was such a special. That would have been a special atmosphere to be in.
Yeah, it was
That looked wild.
I have a friend who's not a Tennessee fan who went to the game, and he was like, yeah, I'm a Vols fan now because I just went through all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, because he didn't have a college team, and I was like, you know what, I'll accept that.
That's a special stadium, man.
Can I do that too or no?
Oh, you want to be a Vols guy now?
But you need to be there.
No, I know.
You need to be
I
dipped
agree.
in the
I
chocolate.
regret not going to that. All night I was like, I should be there right now.
Could you
I should
have?
be there. I looked at tickets a few weeks ago, but they were expensive then, and then obviously after they kept winning, I was like, I'm not going to spend that much money.
Talk
But
about the LSU game. That's your team.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Jaden Daniels looked like a different quarterback. I did not think that we were going to go to the Swamp and play as well as we did. But here's the crazy thing. LSU going into Ole Miss at home next week with a win could be tied for the SEC West in the 8th week of the season.
Yeah, with Alabama losing.
But
Yeah.
with Alabama losing, going into the Alabama. And so it's number 7, Ole Miss number 7 versus unranked LSU, and it's a pick 'em.
And Ole Miss isn't that good.
No.
I don't think they're that good. Number 7.
Well, that alone, like
How
Vegas.
come the number 7 teams are always
I know.
overrated? It's like every
I know. Last time we were
USC,
here,
Kentucky, but USC lost to Utah.
Utah.
yeah,
And so
that's
yeah,
another great game.
Congratulations, by the way. That's a good win.
Thank you. I mean, it's turning around. I still think there's a lot of unrest in LSU fans.
Yeah,
but,
but you're starting to actually see growth in the middle of the season.
exactly. Offense looks better. Defense looked better. And we went to a really tough place to win a football game and won a football game.
Our game was unranked, so I'll just mention it quickly. But Arkansas destroyed BYU. It was never really a game. We're down 6 defensive backs. We have 2 wide receivers playing secondary. So we are so depleted, and we still rolled a team that was supposed to be pretty good. And so I was pretty happy that I have to come here crying. But nobody cares.
Hey, it's a win.
It is a win. We'll take it over a BYU team that was like ranked 11 or 12 at one point this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go to some of the big games just in general. The Kansas City and Buffalo game, it was what we thought it was. At the end, it's surprising that Mahomes threw the pick, but what a game. Just what a game. First half a little slow, and you're like, okay, defenses are – it just shows you there's also defense on those teams.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was a really good game. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that Buffalo won. Here's why. They needed to win occasionally to make that a real rivalry.
Yeah.
Because those are the 2 quarterbacks. It's Peyton and Brady now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they don't have those credentials yet, but those 2 didn't either at first. But that's what this is. And they're going to meet up again. And it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fun to watch those 2 guys battle for a long time.
A long time. They're both young. They're both extremely dynamic at doing different things. They both can hurt you different ways. Their offenses are lethal. It was nice to see Juju. He scored a touchdown. First time. They've been talking all year.
He had a great game.
Yeah.
Great game. And, too, like, even the coaching side of it, like, Stephon Diggs had a few big catches, but I thought the Chiefs did a good job of not letting him take the game over. But then Josh Allen found other guys. Same with Juju stepping up and having a big game.
Who would you take if you were Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? Right now, same every part about it.
I like it.
Who would you take right now? Eddie, you're the GM. They're both up there. Who do you take?
I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a little more careful. I love Josh Allen, but he's really reckless. And I feel like when you play that hard all the time, your time's coming at some point to get hurt.
Reckless with his body.
Yeah, with his body. I mean, dude, he just sacrifices his body to get yards, and I love it. But at some point, it's just your time's going to come.
I think if we're talking about throwing, I'd say Mahomes gets pretty reckless at times when he's flipping balls.
Yeah.
But body,
Yeah, but he always completes those.
You're right. But body-wise, when you're reckless and it doesn't work out, that one hurts you for long.
Yeah.
Josh Allen isn't going out of bounds. He's ducking his shoulder and trying
That's right.
Just a big old boy.
I didn't
Big
realize how
dude.
big he is.
Big
Huge.
dude.
Big old boy. And he is a very mobile NFL quarterback, but he's a large, mobile
He's a
NFL
DN.
quarterback. Yeah. What do you got? Kickoff Kevin, what you got?
I would go Josh Allen. It's very close, but he's just a freak. Like, you watch that guy and you just think, well, I guess Patrick Mahomes too. He's the best guy in the field. But I think Mahomes is what makes him so great at, twirling around and making all those crazy throws, can also be the worst part of his game, because he can throw an interception in the end zone. He can throw an interception at the end of the game because he's almost trying to do too much, where Josh Allen can tuck it, run your guy over, jump over your guy, whatever it may be. And yeah, it might lead to some injury, but he was the best guy on the field yesterday.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, Josh Allen, man. I mean, he made some throws yesterday that were pinpoint. That last one right at the end of the half, streak up the sideline. Yeah. I mean, that he could not have thrown a better football.
I'm going to go Pat Mahomes, and here's why. And you all make great points. They're both – if you were told you have to take either one of them,
Right.
There's no wrong answer, really.
your pants are tight automatically. It's an amazing day. You win. But I'm going to go Mahomes because they both have – again, reckless quality. We'll use the word reckless since you did. Reckless qualities about them. But I think Mahomes' reckless quality doesn't get him through on the IR for 4 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, now with the protocols being, they're watching everything. And if I went down, I would have a talk with my players. Listen, if you go down and you get hit in the head and you think just grab your ankle. Grab your ankle.
Oh, easy.
Grab your ankle and start yelling, my leg, my leg. If you can think about that, if you ain't too knocked out. And so, and then figure out the head stuff, like if it is or not, because they'll automatically put you in and they'll automatically hold you, even if you were okay. So, but I think that both are A-plus quarterbacks, no doubt about it. But I'll go Mahomes because his recklessness may lose you a game, may throw a pick, make the game closer. But I think if Josh Allen gets hurt, there's not another quarterback that comes in and can do that and can win games, unless you get Cooper Rush. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But both are A-plus. Both are A-plus.
I'll tell you what, though, with Josh Allen, they're not calling a lot of rough in the passes with him because he is tougher.
It's like Roethlisberger. They would hit him,
Right.
and they wouldn't call anything because he's a big guy. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you expect? You're a big dude. You're taking it just fine.
I do love, though, when they tripped him and they didn't call the tripping on that. And he's just like, look, I know he tripped me because normally you wouldn't knock me down if
He
that
was like,
wasn't
you
a
can't
trip.
tackle me like
Love
that.
that.
Yeah.
That was a blatant trip, though.
Yeah,
It really
that's pretty
was.
bad how they missed that.
Yeah, and I do think it was a miss because he fired it out of there. You know, and he did. It was a trip. I'm saying it was a trip for sure. But he did go down on him with his arm too. Like he was able to kind of like hit him with his side of his arm. So it did look a little more like a sack than just a blatant only leg trip. Because there was a punt return earlier this year, maybe a kickoff return where the kicker straight put his leg out. Do you guys remember this early in the season? He busted through and the kicker just goes, woo, and just tripped him and boom, he wiped out. Like that was a straight trip. This one, although was a trip, and I think we all saw it, there at least was somebody also that touched him at the same time. But what a game. What a game. And it ended with something that doesn't normally happen with Mahomes making a big bonehead pass.
God.
So you talked rivalry, and I agree with you. This is definitely a future rivalry. But do you think it's being
Not future,
incubated?
now.
I
think
now.
that playoff
now.
game last year
That started it.
created this rivalry for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have that many scores that quick at that level, because that's what a rivalry is. It's big games with great players, and you need somebody else to win occasionally too. The Tennessee-Alabama game, if Tennessee wins again in the next couple of years, that's a real rivalry because they'll both be good programs. It can't be a rivalry if only one team wins, and it can't be a rivalry if it's never for a big game or someone pulls a gun. You know, there's like three layers. So I think it's already there, but you don't have to hate the person to be a rival of the person, because I think those two probably
Respect each other.
a lot.
Yeah,
I think you
I agree
saw
with
it at
that.
the end of the game where they go out and just held it for a second and talked, and like Pat Mahomes was like, yo, dude, do you listen to Bobby Bones show? And he was like, yeah.
That's what I saw their lips. Yeah, I think that's
I
exactly what they
definitely
were
picked
saying.
up Bobby Bones at least.
Yeah,
once.
it's easy
Bones.
because
Thought I made out of 25 whistles, but I wasn't sure.
yeah, that's a tough one to say because a 20 whistles the mouth is a weird.
Do you guys get a little like soft-hearted when they at the end of the game when they all talk to each other? Like I love that part of the game.
I thought Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers had a pretty cool one yesterday too. Zach Wilson apparently is a huge Rodgers fan, and that was pretty cool to see. So
I'm surprised Rodgers will even talk to anybody. First of all, bad beat by the Packers. How about first of all, the Jets and the Giants win again?
New York.
Awesome.
what's going on in New York?
It's awesome.
Right? They needed that.
I'm surprised Rodgers just wouldn't be pissy with them. He's not known as one of the most friendly guys on the field. I don't know what it's like off the field. I think he's different.
He looks like a douchebag.
I think he's a different kind of dude.
You had to guess.
Yeah, but I'm telling you,
guess. I
You had to
would call him
guess.
you can guess.
But he would be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he was
Interesting.
Interesting.
He was like the guy that I said like I would love
Yeah,
to
that's true, yeah.
go have a beer
Yeah.
with that guy.
That Packers loss. By the way, what do you think of the orange helmets?
Oh, it's so ugly.
See, I'm weird. I kind of dug their uniform.
I liked them too.
I thought they looked cool.
I liked them too because they look so weird
Yeah.
and they look so old school.
They
It was
really
like,
do.
You almost wanted to touch them and see if they were leather.
Yeah.
The helmets.
It was
Because they were
1930.
so old. Yeah, but the Jets win. The Giants win. You can tell me that I'm a fool, but the fact that Daniel Jones is one of the fastest quarterbacks in the NFL
No, that's crazy.
blows my mind.
That's crazy because he doesn't look like he's fast at all.
Definitely
No.
does not look fast.
He just is like, looks like Eli Manning out there in a lot of ways. He's just kind of dopey and tall and white and goofy. And so when he's like, he's one of the fastest guys quarter. Really?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
won again.
Yeah.
And he's not just playing management. He's not doing a whole lot more. He's not winning games by throwing 320, but he's actually playing pretty and making good decisions.
Yeah.
So the Giants and the Jets both win. Great. The Ravens lost again.
Double digits. Second
What's-
half.
What's happening? Kevin, what's happening with the Ravens?
I think then I don't know if it's the pressure Lamar is feeling, but it's almost, they're not running the ball either. I'm not sure where they're ranked exactly, but they're not running the ball like they usually do. And then all the pressure is on Lamar. And And when he has all that pressure, he tries to do too much, almost like a Mahomes-esque, and then he fumbles yesterday. He throws a pick late in the fourth quarter, and then it just kind of tumbles from there.
That interception, you're talking about the one they snapped and it was a fumble on the ground. He picked it
Yeah,
up and
picked
then
up.
ran around and threw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or, because I agree with what you're saying, or he's being asked to do too much because defensively they're not doing a lot defensively. So it's like it's all on you, bro.
I feel like he's got the weight of the
Yeah.
world on him. That entire team is on him.
Yeah,
he
me too.
definitely feels like he is the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
Like that's a lot.
Colts win again, by the way. We'll talk about it briefly because who cares about the Colts and the Jags? But the Colts win again, and Matt Ryan went off for over, like 330 or something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe even more than
It's
that.
like 390.
I
Was
saw
it-
a
is that what it
stat.
was?
Yeah.
He just passed Dan Marino for all-time passing yards. He's number 7 in Matty Ice.
You know, and that when you say those words out loud, it does hit weird because you're like, that's Dan Marino. But they just didn't throw the ball that much back then.
Yeah, in Miami.
And Matt's also been playing for how long?
But it all
Been playing for a long time,
You're
yeah.
talking about the 80s and 90s. They didn't throw the football that much.
true.
No.
Yeah.
They just that was like,
Montana threw the football a lot.
But even then, if you look
Montana, baby.
Till Montana.
at what other games?
You're
are-
right though, Bobby. It was a different style of football.
Offensive cultures were completely different there.
Yeah.
And early on in Matt Ryan's days in Atlanta, I mean, he had a prime Julio Jones. I mean, they were slinging.
yeah.
It.
The Bucks lost to the Steelers.
I like that.
Ugly.
And I'll tell you what, I was watching the game. Trubisky comes in and
Showed them.
throws like 150 and a touchdown or something.
Right away.
Comes in
Immediately.
and the Steelers win the game. I saw a clip and I couldn't maybe you guys saw it too, where Brady was like screaming at his lineman. Did you guys see the
Yes.
clip?
Yeah, he was losing.
Yes,
it.
and then I heard someone say that he said in a podcast that when he's screaming at the other players, he's not screaming at them, he's screaming at himself.
What I saw
That's the biggest crap I've
was
ever heard
him
in my life.
screaming at the lineman, going in a some-ish positive way, like you're better than this.
Yeah.
There were some F words in there, but he's like you're effing better than this.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That's a complete dressing down of the players.
He's talking to himself, is what he said in that podcast.
I feel you, Tom.
Yeah.
But
Just a
don't
heads
know.
up, Tom. It really looks like you're screaming
Yeah.
at people.
it does.
But
It
yeah,
does,
he
Tom.
was positive. You can hear some audio.
Yeah, and he's
where
like,
he
"You're
says
effing better than
Yeah.
this."
Which is
It was like a mix. You're like, I'm scared. Oh, he likes me. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the Steelers win. That was a wild win because I think the Bucks were leading the division. Were they leading the division?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their only saving grace is that division is just, I mean, as a Saints fan, we're lost. But the Falcons.
I know.
Dude.
They beat up on the Niners yesterday.
I mean,
The-
3-3, Marcus
Fal-
Mariota led Falcons.
The Falcons are like the little engine that can sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they do, I mean, they just. And I tell you what, Kyle Pitts had, I think, a touchdown
Finally, on my
yesterday
bench.
too, and he has had a bad hamstring, and he's kind of fighting back through that. But if they can get Pitts going, listen, Mariota is not the long-term answer there, but he's more of an answer than I think they expected.
Yeah.
And I think they may be a little irritated at him for actually winning games
I know.
because you don't want to lose,
Right.
but sometimes you set yourself up that if you do, you just
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I don't think they start Mariota to go 500 and have the 13th pick in the draft.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
Because they probably could have started someone a lot worse to develop them, A, or B, got someone a little better and tried to win some games.
Let's get that Bryce Young.
But they're getting major leagued.
Ooh.
They
Bryce
go in,
Young in Atlanta could be fun.
they go in, they pull the little tag off, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna get Jerry Jones naked if you guys keep winning games."
yeah.
They're like, just like Major League. You want to hear an update? Jordan, we got this for you.
Yeah.
So last episode, I think I revealed to the guys. Now, I had sent an email to the Dallas Cowboys going, "Hey, can we get an interview with Jerry Jones?" And they were like, "I don't think so." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I just said, "Hey, if possible, we'd love to. This is who I am. My name's Bobby." Just kind of laid out the resume. Got an email back that said, "Okay, let me run it by Jerry." Come back. They go, "Hey, Mr. Jones is open to the interview possibility. How would you be recording it? Where would it go?" We're like, "We're freaking out. We're making Jerry Jones on the show, right? We're freaking
Yeah,
out."
that's huge.
Right. And so then they go, "Hey, would it be possible for you to come and do it in person?" And I'm like, wow. I tell the guys, and all I know is Eddie ran to the bathroom. I don't know what he did.
Calendar was clear immediately.
Yeah,
I don't know what he
was
did
I
there.
don't know what he did in there.
Okay, guys.
So, and then I say, that'd be awesome. They said, well, let's send a list of dates, and let's see if we can find a home game that works for you to come. And so I went through every single Cowboy game, my schedule, and there were just some non-negotiables. I literally only had one date to send them, which was December 11th. I said, it's Cowboys and Texans. I said, I'm very sorry, but this is the only date that I have. And I didn't hear back from them for like 4 or 5 days, which is not a good sign, right? And so I get the email back, and it says, hey, Bobby, let's go ahead and schedule December 11th for this. Yes, and they're like, yeah.
Sit down interview with
Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Right? And then they said, would it be possible for you all, me, Eddie, Mike D, and my wife, to arrive Saturday night so we can get started early Sunday morning? Awesome. And then they say, including right into the game with Jerry in his helicopter and taping at the stadium pregame, and then sitting
Is
in
this
the
real life?
and then sitting in the suite with Jerry during the game.
This is the email.
That's the email.
Are you
from-
kidding me?
No, yeah. That's the update. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that insane?
Dude.
I know. We were like that. Well, they haven't stopped smiling.
Dude, it's been crazy.
It's been way more smiles than frowns around here.
For sure. It's the Christmas present for me. Like, I already told my wife, don't get me anything for Christmas. Like, this is it if it happens.
There's not a better place to watch a football game than where you are going to watch a football game from.
And Jerry Sweet, you've been there?
No, but
Oh,
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I mean, I can
he
imagine.
made it happen. He called Jerry. He's like, I vouch for these guys, man.
He's
Yeah.
behind the whole thing.
I can imagine that it's going to be a pretty enjoyable experience.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're very excited. And these two guys are about to lose it.
Jordan, what do I wear, dude?
You go covered. Okay, you can go two. I feel like you can go one of two ways
Great
here.
question. Love it. Go ahead.
You can go covered in Dallas Cowboy stuff,
That's what I'm thinking.
or you just dress like Jerry Jones.
We all wear suits like idiots.
Yeah,
Well, they do say if you want someone to like you, mimic them.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't know if I'm going in wanting Jerry to like me. I don't know what Jerry's going to think. Is Jerry even going to talk to me? You know?
Dude, this is taking 25 whistles to a whole new
oh,
level,
no.
boys.
Yeah. We went from the basement to building some stairs in the basement, hopefully able to walk out one day.
Pretty
Yeah.
That's where
crazy,
we are
man.
now. That's the new level we are.
Big time.
So that's the situation. Pretty
Dude,
cool, huh?
that's awesome.
You want to go?
Yeah.
You can't.
Hey, you got to buy tickets.
Hey, Jordan, I'll
yeah,
go.
we got-
I'll go with it.
We got a block of tickets, but you got to buy them.
Dang, Eddie.
Oh,
Got him.
Taking shots over here.
Got him.
Reminder: the
Just
25 whistles.
FaceTime me. Just FaceTime me from Jerry Sweet.
That'd be cool.
25 Whistles brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action right now. And my parlay, like I mentioned, Arkansas moneyline, they did win. I never put Arkansas on them, but I told you guys I felt like we were going to bully them. Oklahoma State plus 4.5. Once it got to overtime, I felt pretty good about that. And then I thought, man, second half hit. I was like, all right, Alabama's going to do this. And they didn't. And I let you down. I let you down. I'm very sorry. I'm a loser.
Hey,
I hate myself.
That's Vegas, baby. You win some, you lose some.
That's right.
There are so many listeners that get involved in this now that have never sports bet, that have never even watched sports. And I feel like I owe it to them to make them money.
Hey, it's part of the game, though. Like,
Oh,
when
I'm
you
such a
parent
loser.
kids, you have to teach them both sides of, like, good
Yeah.
life, bad life.
It's true. Bet responsibly.
That's right.
You know, listeners that don't have the DraftKings Sportsbook app can download it now and get in on the action with the 25 Whistles parlay on DraftKings Sportsbook. If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, which we'll give you another one coming up on Friday, you can. Which, by the way, we're like 75%
That's
on
great.
the parlays.
really good.
It's not
Great.
even on the overalls. Yeah, you can check out the DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. You guys are talking me into not being sad. You're like, "Guy, it's okay, Bobby."
You're okay, man.
Yeah.
I hate letting people
The
down.
bar
like
is
that.
so high.
Yeah.
21 and up, most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee REDLINE at 1-800-889-9798. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. So I got a message. I won't say who it is, but I got a message from a friend of mine who is also also as in Jordan, not myself, is a country music artist. And he says, hey, what's your code for DraftKings? I told him. I said, put in Bobby Sports. And he goes, cool. He goes, I made this bet. And he sent me his bet slip. And he goes, do I get like a free shirt or something? and he was asking me that like for real. But when he sent me his bet slip, he bet $1,000
Ooh.
on a 3-game parlay. It wasn't mine, thank goodness. And the parlay, I want to read the teams. Eddie, I texted it to you.
Yeah,
Right?
Bengals, Steelers, and Colts.
To win, Bengals, Steelers, Colts. He bet $1,000, won $15,000.
Oh my God.
Money lines.
So he bet the Steelers money line.
Oh my
With
god.
1,000 on
But he
it.
bet those three, put $1,000 on it. Again, and it was like 15,900 and something, right?
The 16 grand.
$1,000 on a parlay. Is this guy like A-list?
Yeah.
Hey, he's
Oh,
got
he's
cash.
got it.
He's got
Jordan's
cash.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got cash,
If
but
he's just like me, like slumming around with the ceiling stars. I'm like, dude, who is this guy?